clip going around. So she dumps it down. Watch Caitlin's shoulders here. She kind of like, Then she goes to tie her shoes as Howard goes to work and misses the layup.
The Caitlin Clark and Natasha Howard situation is kind of crazy.
She blatantly runs into Caitlin Clark while Caitlin Clark is driving down the lane.
People are starting to question Caitlin Clark's and Natasha Howard's chemistry.
She's doing this on purpose.
Natasha Howard and Caitlin Clark do not like playing with each other.
The clip is everywhere, and fans can't stop talking. Caitlin Clark passes the ball, ties her shoe mid-play, and watches as Natasha Howard freezes her out again. If you believe Caitlin deserves better, drop a 100% in the comments right now, because what just happened changes everything.
Caitlin Clark is obviously the reason why everybody's watching the WNBA. She's the reason why all these fans are tuning in.
Nobody on this team sets screens.
Caitlin Clark running the show.
It all started with one moment that lit up social media. Caitlin Clark, mid-game, casually tying her shoelace.
So this is Caitlin Clark right here. And she literally gets down and ties her shoe in the middle of the basketball game. Now, fans have been talking about this play.
But this wasn't just a routine adjustment. It was a message. Seconds earlier, Clark had passed the ball to Natasha Howard and instantly knew it wasn't coming back.
With Natasha Howard, look off Caitlin Clark and take the ball up and then throw it to Caitlin Clark with like 2 seconds to go to shoot a step back.
Instead of staying in position or calling for the ball, she bent down and started tying her shoe. Cameras caught it. Fans lost it.
Caitlin decides, I'm just going to go tie my shoelace. And by the way, Caitlin Clark is currently being denied while tying her shoelace.
So she dumps it down. Watch Caitlin's shoulders here. She kind of like, Then she goes to tie her shoes as Howard goes to work and misses the layup.
Caitlin Clark had a situation where she tied her shoe in the middle of the game, and fans is definitely freaking out about it. Gray not knowing what to do when Cece is tying her shoe.
Because this wasn't the first time, and definitely not an accident. Howard ignored Clark and went straight to the rim. Missed the layup. The body language from Caitlin said it all. A subtle shrug, a glance, and complete emotional detachment. She didn't chase the play. She didn't even try to get open. Because why should she?
But Caitlin Clark literally passed the ball to Natasha Howard, knew she wasn't going to get it back. And just...
When your point guard gets frozen out like that, something's broken. And that's not all. There were multiple clips in that same game showing Howard consistently looking her off, walking the ball up the floor, refusing to run the fast break, keeping possessions in her hands and slowing the game to her pace. This single moment, Caitlin tying her shoe, captured weeks of tension in a few seconds.
Natasha Howard just looks off Caitlin Clark. And Caitlin Clark, you can just see the reactions. As like, we got body language experts here, but I don't care. I don't care. If you get looked off, by the way, and you're trying to push the pace, you're there shrugging. So you got Caitlin Clark there shrugging her shoulders like, what the hell?
It wasn't just a meme, it was a message. And now fans are asking, is this fixable? Or is something deeper going on inside the Fever?
She's looking her off in games. She sees the girl driving down the lane and intentionally...
That viral clip wasn't a one-off. It was just the most obvious example of something fans and analysts have been noticing for weeks. Natasha Howard consistently freezing out Caitlin Clark. Multiple plays show the same pattern. Caitlin's wide open in transition.
She is taking away from Caitlin Clark. She is taking away from Caitlin. She is taking away from the speed.
A 26-point first.
Caitlin Clark is right there waiting on the outlet. Natasha Howard looks her off.
Waving for the outlet. And Howard looks her off without hesitation. Even when Clark has the hot hand or is coming off screens ready to shoot, the ball never finds her. Instead, Howard slows the game down, dribbles into traffic, and forces low percentage shots. Over and over. In one game, Caitlin dropped 25 points in the first half. She was cooking. And what happened next? Howard ignored her wide open at the three-point line.
Caitlin Clark had 25 points in the first half, and Natasha Howard looked her off from three.
That possession could have set a league record for points and a half. But instead, Caitlin stood there, stunned. No pass, no recognition, just isolation play from Howard. Even when Clark is in rhythm, she's treated like an afterthought. Possessions die without her even touching the ball.
She's bringing the ball up, She looks at Caitlin and then just keep bringing it up. Eventually gets it to her, but she brings the ball up.
And when she does give it up, it's clear. She knows it's not coming back.
Caitlin knew she would never see the ball again. Gray should have too.
Caitlin knew she would never see the ball again. Gray should have too.
That's why fans keep bringing up the shoe tying moment. It was quiet, it was clever, and it told the truth. Clark's being shut out by her own teammates. And it's not just Howard. Aaliyah Boston, who's supposed to be part of the franchise core, has also been seen getting rebounds and instantly turning away from Caitlin, refusing to start the break with her. Clark is rarely given the chance to lead the offense the way she's built to, despite being the top playmaker on the roster. Let's be clear, this is more than missed passes. This is about control, power, and team dynamics. And the stats back it up. Clark leads the league in unassisted field goals.
Nobody's paying money to see Natasha Howard. Nobody is paying money to see Natasha Howard. That's all I can say. That is all I can say. Nobody's paying money to see her.
She's forced to create everything on her own because no one is helping her do what she does best: shoot, facilitate, and change games.
Do you think Natasha Howard's going to throw it?
Short.
Looks her off.
And 10 seconds left here.
Now she want to dribble the ball up the floor.
What's happening with Caitlin Clark and Natasha Howard isn't just a basketball issue. It's a locker room power struggle, and the cracks are showing all over the court. Let's start at the root. Natasha Howard didn't just come to Indiana to play a role. She came in with a goal to be MVP.
And we should have known when she said, oh, well, I would like to be MVP. We should have known she was an op.
She said it openly before the season even tipped off. And for a team that just drafted the most hyped rookie in WNBA history, that mindset raised eyebrows immediately. From day one, it was clear Howard didn't view Caitlin as the face of the franchise. She saw her as someone who needed to be brought down to earth. On podcasts, Howard made comments like, "This isn't Iowa anymore, and she doesn't have to do it all here."
Caitlin's job was basically just to be a role player. Caitlin's job was to be a pass-first point guard and get them the ball, and that they were going to play their system.
On paper, those sound like veteran advice. But on the floor, the reality looked different. Possessions dominated by Howard, Caitlin ignored, the offense slowed down, and a refusal to let Clark dictate the game. In one clip, Clark comes off a screen perfectly, hands up, ready to shoot. It's a textbook opportunity. But instead of feeding her, Howard puts her head down and drives into traffic.
Natasha Howard said her goal was to be MVP. I knew then that she was going to be a problem.
Caitlin, visibly frustrated, throws her arms up. She knew the ball was never coming. Again. And it goes deeper. Analysts and fans have pointed out a consistent refusal by Howard to run the offense through Clark, even in transition, even when Clark is calling for it. It's not just poor chemistry, it's deliberate. The spacing collapses, Howard clogs driving lanes. There's even footage of her cutting into Caitlin's path mid-drive, effectively killing the play.
She blatantly runs into Caitlin Clark while Caitlin Clark is driving down the lane.
That's not basketball IQ. That's ego on display. And behind the scenes, the tension isn't just visible, it's being talked about. Reports say the locker room is fractured. Some players still carry loyalty to departed veterans like DeWanna Bonner. Others are caught in between, unsure whether to follow the rookie phenom or the established vets. But the results are clear. This is not a unified team.
She don't necessarily want Caitlin to feel like she has to do it all. She actually have a good team, good teammates behind her that has her back.
The locker room has been corrupt. Natasha Howard out here blatantly ignoring, freezing out, and looking off the best point guard in the league.
The frustration is boiling over. Caitlin's body language has changed.
Her body language seemed kind of not there, breaking the huddle.
She used to clap for teammates, stay engaged in every possession. Now, shrugs, silence. The viral shoelace moment wasn't just about trolling. It was a quiet declaration. You're not going to involve me? Fine, I'm not chasing the ball. And here's what really stings. When Natasha Howard sits, the Fever play better. The offense flows. Caitlin pushes tempo. Shooters get open. There's actual movement. The ball doesn't die in isolation. In fact, some of the Fever's most successful stretches this season came with Howard on the bench, while Caitlin led the charge.
She's the Michael Jordan and Alyssa Smith, but she very much has the ego of Michael Jordan too.
Yet somehow the coaching staff hasn't made the change. There's no clear pecking order, no accountability.
This team is not built around Caitlin. When just like the start of the season, it was built around DeWanna Bonner. Now DeWanna Bonner is gone. And guess who's is built around now? Natasha Howard.
And that's the problem.
Tweak the rotation a little bit. We want Caitlin Clark to bring the ball up.
Every great team has a structure. The stars lead and the rest follow. But in Indiana, you've got a veteran trying to run the show while freezing out the one player who can change everything.
You came to what we were doing already, right? You're supposed to get in where you fit in.
This isn't just bad basketball. It's bad leadership. And until the front office steps in to fix it, the Fever will keep underperforming. Because make no mistake, Caitlin Clark has the talent to elevate this team.
You're looking off our best player. You could have stayed where the hell you was at.
But she can't do it if she's being pushed to the sidelines by her own teammate.
I do want them in some possessions to find a way to get Caitlin Clark the ball back. Sometimes she come off the handoff and gets a wide open shot.
What we just witnessed wasn't a fluke. It was the boiling point of weeks of tension. Caitlin Clark is the future of this franchise, yet she's being treated like a role player. Frozen out, ignored, undermined. This team should be built around her unique skill set, her vision, her range, her leadership. Instead, ego and confusion are getting in the way of winning basketball, and fans are done staying silent. Because here's the truth. When Caitlin leads, the Fever rise. When she's allowed to run the offense, everything clicks. And if that means tough changes ahead, then so be it. The goal isn't to protect feelings. It's to build a championship culture. So if you're with Caitlin, if you see what's really going on, if you believe this team has a future only if it gets out of its own way, then make your voice heard. Because this changes everything.
All of the families showing love to the players for this year's All-Star game on X today. And Caitlin Clark family show love.